For a long time, I always was listening to music. It all happened after I bought a pair of AirPods Pros and I could listen to music and literally not hear anything outside of those earphones. I mean, I listened to it on the bus, on the walk to school, on the walk to work. I listened to it even talking to my family. Like, I listened all the time. A lot of young people listen to music a little bit too much, and this is why. Now, I'm not telling you to quit listening to music forever. No, that's not what this is about. I'm just trying to point out the downsides of listening to music way too often. And I also want to point out the negative side effects of actually overindulgence. So back then, I didn't know anything about, presence or mindfulness or any of that kind of thing. And so I was always allowing myself to just zone out. I would not even allow myself to think. I just kind of sat there and let time go by. By never allowing myself to think properly about my life, it stopped me from solving any problems that I faced in life. Like, if I had just stopped for a bit and just gone on a bus ride without any headphones or phone or any kind of distractions, if I was just fully there, I probably would have had come to the conclusion that I needed to work harder on my A-levels. Like, I would have saved myself a lot of time and pain if I had come to that realization a lot sooner. I mean, what was the point of going for a walk in the park if I'm just gonna have my headphones in? I didn't hear the birds singing. I didn't hear the wind rustling through the trees. I didn't allow myself to appreciate anything I had in my life. I'll excuse myself because, the UK was really shit. It was kind of ugly. Even the parks were quite ugly. But the point is, if I'm not allowing myself to be in the present moment, how could I ever appreciate it? Overindulgence of music actually really negatively impacted my life, and I had no idea. During this time, I was already depressed. I traveled to work 2 hours, like back and forth, like 2 hours there, 2 hours back, and it was just the worst because I went to a job that treated me like absolute shit. I worked so hard and it all just kind of compiled into a pretty shit life. This isn't how a young person like myself should be living. Numbing your mind to life and the things around you, even the boring and mundane parts, shouldn't be how you allow yourself to live. Music should be something that you listen to actively, rather than just having it as background noise so that you don't have to listen or think about your problems. If you really want to appreciate music, then start appreciating the lyrics, the notes, the way it makes you feel. Just be more mindful of how it makes you feel, because this is another point. Music actually increases your risk to develop depression and anxiety and overall worsen your mental health. When you listen to music on shuffle, like all of your music, that one song will come up and it will remind you of that time that was really shit in your life. And so you'll start to relive that moment and you'll feel kind of shit because it reminds you of a shit time in your life. And so it just kind of fucks with your mood, and you think that it wouldn't affect you in the long term, but actually it does. It can affect you for a while after. And the thing is, when you listen to so much music, those moments come up way more often, and therefore the effects of the long term increase by a lot more than just listening once and being like, oh, that music makes me think of this person and I don't like them. Not only that, but when you listen to music, you're more likely to listen to music that corresponds with your current mood. So it's like, if you're feeling depressed, you're way more likely to listen to a depressing Phoebe Bridgers song or whatever the fuck, like some sad ass like Mitski, some shit. And overall, this just kind of makes your mood just worse. And so over the long term, it just fucks with your mental health. The best way to combat all of the bad effects of music is to be completely mindful of when and where you're listening to music, and just ask yourself, are you listening just to zone out, or do you really listen to the music? Like, I'm only 19, but I already kind of understand why I've never seen a proper adult listening to music 24/7 the way that I used to. Like, it makes sense now. Why would they? They're living. They're actually people. And you go out on the street and everyone's got earphones in. Nobody fucking looks at each other, like, especially in fucking London, bro. I'd go on the bus. No one would fucking look at me except the old people. Those were the only people that looked around and actually, you know, thought about things in their life. They actually looked out the fucking windows to see what was going on. Instead, you got the fucking 20-something-year-old who's going to work and he's just on his phone, like fucking watching TikTok or listening to shitty rap music. It's all just too much, man. Anyways, that's just my experience with music. Peace.